I think it's been getting super frustrating recently because, like, myself and the people that are in this situation, like, you're kind of on your own to do what you can with your own tools, right? Because, like, record labels, things like that, they're not giving people money because they don't have money, especially smaller, unless you're on, like, one of these bigger labels. And then also, like, I think that a lot of it is online, right? And a lot of it's like TikTok and YouTube and whatever it may be. And so, like, it feels like, you feel somewhat helpless, right? Like, even if you're starting your own business, even this podcast, right? This podcast, I started it because I wanted to talk about the experiences that I'm going through. I then changed the format to do it with someone else, specifically you, because I feel like it'd be more fun and you get different points of view and you'd get, just another perspective and we can have fun with it. But even so, like, there's no magic thing of like, okay, if I put, $50 on Facebook marketing or something that, like, it's going to be a thing. Like, you have to, what's getting super dark is I feel like you have to get, like, viral. That's like a thing now, right? And I don't know if that's the right terminology, but, like, you have to become big on the internet. It's like, it seems as though gone are the days of people being like, you have talent, let me develop your talent and bring you to the marketplace. Where now, like, even this podcast, we have to be noticed by the internet or people on the internet or get followers or get subscribers rather than, like, person X is going to hear it and be like, oh, I think you guys are talented and cool. Like, let me blow you up and market you. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I would like your take on this.
So I know we've kind of chatted about this on some of our others where it's that shift from before where the internet wasn't as the platform, it wasn't a thing. So it needed companies or people to find and expose. That was what, that's why The Voice, America's Got Talent, like, those were such big popular shows because it was the only way to showcase talent or to get talent out there. And it was similarly to jobs. It was who you know, it was a bit of luck, it was that kind of stuff versus a little less versus talent. Yeah. A little more like that who you knew and stuff. But once the digital age happened, and I'm going to try and not sound old, but once the digital age happened, it's this shift of everything is at your fingertips. It's, I was talking even sales. So this is like the concept of sales. So before, when I went door to door and I was a salesman and I came to you to sell you a vacuum, you didn't know what a vacuum was. I was telling you something you didn't know. And I had the power of the seller because I was giving you something you didn't know about. The same way about the music industry and stuff like that. I was finding people didn't know about and blowing them up. I was giving something to the world as a company, as a record label, as a whatever. I was giving something people didn't know. But now I go to your door with a vacuum and the person's already researched everything about every vacuum, knows the reviews, has seen it, has tested it, has watched videos about it, has virtually tried it on, has, right. I'm not providing anything new that they don't know. What I provide is expertise. And that's the only reason you would hire me for anything is I hold expertise that you don't have. The same way record labels and stuff don't need to bring someone to discover because the internet, it's not like anyone new and famous nowadays. It's not because, they put something out on MTV or it's on the radio. I already knew it before it was on MTV and on the radio because it's already on digital. Like, that's not where I'm discovering stuff.
Right. And, dude, even just for instance, right before we started this podcast, you sent me a video of a guy that was singing and he sounded amazing. And you're like, yo, check this out. Like, I think that's the way it's heading. Which is good. Don't get me wrong, because it's the accessibility. But I don't want to reiterate too much of what has already been said on the podcast. But like, it's oversaturation. And so, how do you compete? Like, even if you're an amazing
I almost
singer,
was gonna say this is gonna come out wrong, and it's almost belittling the talent out there because you don't stay like, okay, you sing. So does my sister's cat. Like now, literally everybody and everything now sings. You might be better, but better, what's better? Better is subjective.
Especially in music.
Exactly. Like my parents can't stand the music I listen. Like better is all about what other people want. So how are you supposed to A, stand out when everybody and anybody can sing, and B, get shared when it's opinions? Like you literally need, like, I feel like you stand more chance of being a country singer because at least that has a niche like following versus general pop because everybody and anybody likes pop. Like
right.
Yeah.
No, 100%. You're 100% correct. And so like, because of that, that's why it seems so daunting. And like, I know for me, I'm like, I can only control myself, right? And that's also a thing why I started this podcast. Also, kind of tying it perfectly in is like, I don't want to also have to rely on people to put out. I don't want to rely on someone like a record label or whatever to put out content, right? So like, also why I wanted to do it with you, because I know you'd be down. Like we work together well. We're friends from Craigslist. We've been friends for what feels like forever. And like you'd be down, and it's not like either of us have to like drag each other to put out content. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. It's very daunting, and like, and it's so much luck now. And bringing it back to like the whole, if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen, because I think that there has to be a higher power, whatever you believe in, at play for you to become successful, because they think it was like, what, 1 in like 1 million college kids becomes like a professional NBA player. You like